right, so we're here live with Grimm-Life Collective. So we got Michael and we got Jessica of Grimm-Life. So just starting out, guys, how did you guys get your start in being content creators?
Oh, man. So Grimm-Life Collective wasn't always a YouTube channel. It used to be a website that I would go and visit places, and I would take pictures, and I would go write about my travels. When I was little, I really wanted to be a travel writer, like a journalist. And the only problem was I had no desire to write for anybody else. So I started this thing called Grimm-Life. A couple years went by, and I realized that most people didn't want to read about travels. They wanted to go experience these places themselves. So over the period of maybe 10 years, it slowly morphed into what it is today. Not overnight, about 10 years, a long time.
So what does Grimm-Life mean to you guys?
Ooh, that's a good question.
That's a big question.
What about for you? Go ahead.
At this point, Grimm-Life means family.
Yeah.
It's a family that have all come together under different circumstances, but we all share just kind-heartedness and passion for the horror community.
We often say that, right now, if you're familiar with our channel or if you're just finding us, we devoted our entire lives to just traveling and creating memories as a family. So from our family to yours, we give you these travels. And someday,
and take you with us.
Right? And someday, we're gonna be too old to travel. So we're gonna sit at home and look back and watch these adventures and go, remember when you did this? So it's all about family.
For sure. Now, what's been like the biggest, what's been like the most exciting time with being, content creators, and what's been like the most difficult time?
I would say the most exciting thing about being content creators for me personally, and we'll get yours too, is all the different roads that it led to. You find whenever you're creating content, whenever you are in control of what you create, that 9 times out of 10, what you set out to do, your intentions, it's something else completely comes from that. Usually not what you expected, but it's 1,000 times better. And the hardest part is, you heard the saying, we are our own worst critics. And every time we put a video out, even if it's, they're all going to laugh at you, Michael. They're all going to laugh at you. So I quickly found over the years that no matter what it is, just do it. Just do it. What about you?
I don't like to have duplicate responses, so I always like to have a different response to yours. But it's a lot of the same basis. But the favorite thing about what we do is we get to go and explore these places, make new memories, and bring those memories to you, and then you create your own memories with us. And one of the most difficult parts about doing this is not probably what you expect. It's sometimes the weather.
Oh, God. That and people doing lawn work.
We often find ourselves out and about filming, and then out of nowhere, like clockwork, leaf blowers.
Leaf blowers are the
Leaf
devil.
blowers everywhere. People mowing the lawn and things like. We try to get out early as possible, to get our day going, because it takes quite a while sometimes. And we forget about landscaping.
We'll pull up to a place, everything's fine, everything looks good. We'll get out of the car, it's a beautiful day, there's birds. Put the camera on. Action. Leaf blowers are out. Never fails.
Never fails.
Now, I gotta ask, so I know that you used to be a scare actor for
Netherworld
in Atlanta. I'm from Georgia, so
Oh.
I've been there a few times. So, but you guys don't believe in ghosts, or you do believe in ghosts?
Ooh. So we have a very hard stance on the paranormal. I guess you can say it that. Jessica and I both are 100% believers in the paranormal. We have quite an extensive background in paranormal investigations. In fact, we both used to do ghost tours as well as lead paranormal investigations in Savannah, Georgia. But what I mean by having a very strong stance on our channel, we do not do any paranormal ghost. We don't do any ghost hunting. And it's not because we don't believe in it. It's just 9 times out of 10, everything that you watch on YouTube or on TV, it's all fake. What would you think?
We both have personal experiences, and for me, I grew up in a house that was heavy with activity. I won't go into details, but let's just say I had a long run with a haunted house of my own, an actual one. But I feel like with ghost hunting particularly, that is something that we've kind of reserved for our own personal experiences together, instead of becoming a ghost hunting channel all the time, because we love the history of the story of why there's a haunting so much more, that it's more of a thing we can do now as a couple if we have the time.
Yeah.
To just kind of go, let's do a little hunting, but we don't often have enough time, honestly, to turn it into an episode, I think, and I kind of like keeping a few things that are just for us.
What we usually do is we'll go to places that are reputedly supposed to be haunted, and we will talk about the real lives of those who died there that haunt the place. And if we can get any family members, like actual interviews, we're all about walking history and showing history. And sometimes that seeps into the paranormal. And if that's the case, afterwards, we've been known to do some ghost hunting by ourselves off camera. And if anything happens, then we'll put it in the video. But we're not big fans of people who, much respect to them because they're content creators, of course, but people who do like these hour-long videos on ghost hunting, and it's like, man, we've worked in it every single day for years, and we didn't have things happen every single day, but we had some pretty crazy stuff happen, that's for sure.
And a lot of times, a lot of those ghost stories end up being urban legends, so that is really right up our alley anyway, and that's where all that history starts coming from. We want to go to where the haunts are supposedly happening, and if we catch something, wonderful. But a lot of times also those things happen at night. A lot of ghost hunting happens at night, and we're generally on the road traveling at night.
I caught you. Doesn't she look amazing? Like I told her she looks like if a butterfly died and became a ghost. That's Jessica. So I caught a ghost.
Thank you, Sam.
So just a few more questions.
Mm-hmm.
So have you guys actually visited the Zach Bagans Museum?
We have not.
No, you guys plan on it?
Well, I mean, I'd love to see the things that are there. One thing, they do not allow filming inside there, which is completely understandable. Some people have to keep their secrets. But usually every time we come to Vegas, there are so many other things that we want to visit. So at some point, possibly we'll visit the place, but believe it or not, it's really not high on our list. There's awesome places, like right down the street, there's a place called Sliced, which is a horror-themed pizza place.
And then the escape rooms that are attached directly to it.
There's a monster museum that you can go and visit with your family, that's completely open. It's run by a family for families.
If I can be a little candid, when we first learned about it and we were here in Vegas, the prices for tickets are a bit higher than your average admission to places. So we were kind of budgeting, should we do this one thing that would take up all of our funds for the weekend, or could we do these 2 or 3 other experiences and get a full weekend experience in? So that came more of part of the conversation, and I'm one of those people that if it doesn't feel right in the moment, I can't do it. We both are. If it's not vibing with you, we set it off to the side, and we'll circle back to that. And for some reason, and maybe because it's paranormal, but I don't feel like it's the right time for me to visit Zach Bagans yet, but when it happens, I'll know it, and I'll go there.
For sure. I actually went to Sliced because of you guys.
Yeah.
So I checked that out today. But just last 2 questions, guys. So, what is next for GrimmLife? What can the fans expect?
Ooh. So every year, GrimmLife exists. And I'm just going to say this right now. I don't think that Jessica and I would be, I don't think we're ever going to stop. This is part of our life. It's ingrained in us. And every year that GrimmLife exists, it keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And this year we're going international. We're doing more shows. The doors keep opening. the road keeps growing, the world keeps growing. Man, it's a little overwhelming, but like in a good way. It's almost impossible to like figure out what's coming next.
No, but I do have one hope for the future. I was just realizing as you're answering that.
I take the long way
now
around.
Now that we've popped the international cherry.
Oh yeah.
I would love to if for every year on out we can visit another country.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe upcoming England, maybe after Tokyo, maybe after Australia. You never know where we're going to go.
She said Tokyo. 2024, we're planning on going to Japan.
Nice. And then just last question, any advice that you guys can give to starting up content creators who want to do something similar that you guys do?
The one piece of advice that I always give is anytime you turn your camera on, every time you point your camera at anything, make sure you believe in it 100%. If you are going to go film something and you're just feeling off, it's like 99% or 98 and just you're not all into it, save it for another day. What I mean by that, I mean you don't have to take it literally, but what I mean by that is, put everything you have into what you create. If not, those who watch your channel are going to see that. People want something they can connect to, and if you can give them something that's truthful and something that you believe in with everything, that's, in my opinion, what's going to make you succeed.
I agree, but as a final word, I would say don't forget to enjoy yourself, because
Yes.
that really is the most important part of what you're doing, and people can share in that joy, and that's a lot of times what they'll keep coming back for.
All right, Grimm, we definitely appreciate you guys being on the Empty Crypt. Look forward to seeing the journeys in the future.
Happy Halloween.
Ooh.